It's time to get your morning started with the news you need to know.
News update.
This is what's trending with DJ and PK. Hashtag NFL.
141 is what they put on the clock, and here goes Bijan Robinson. 30, 35, 40, midfield. It's a foot race. Robinson 30, 15, 10, 5, house call. Are you serious? Oh my goodness. He just went 93. Here's Stafford now looking, going to throw down the far side. Did Terrell intercept it? No, he broke it up. It won't matter. Guess what? Ball game is over in Atlanta. The Falcons 27 and the Rams 24. You know what we're doing tonight again? Stacking wins.
Is there any scenario that you can imagine where you're not back as the coach next year?
I think I'm coming back, right? If they'll have me back, I'll come back. You never know in this business, Matt. So that's a tough one, but I plan on it. Yeah.
That's Chiefs head coach Andy Reid saying he plans to return next season. There had been speculation the soon-to-be 68-year-old could retire after the Chiefs' playoff streak was snapped. They've been to 10 straight playoffs, won 9 straight divisions, on and on. But he says he wants to come back next year and try again.
Well, I mean, if that kid over in Ann Arbor can keep coaching, why can't I?
The Atlanta Falcons built a 21-0 first-half lead. Trade field goals. They're up 24-3 in the third. And the Rams scored 3 touchdowns and tied it up. But a 51-yard field goal gives the Falcons the 27-24 win. Stacking wins, PK. Are we all sick and tired of that? Stacking whatever. Recruits, days, wins, blah, blah, blah.
No, as long as you put in the word paychecks.
Stacking paychecks is always good.
Yes, I like that.
That's your favorite? Of all the stacks in life. Smokestacks.
That's what I want to stack.
Yeah. Stacked paychecks.
Right. Or birdies, pars.
Okay. A list of acceptable things.
Yeah.
Stacking birdies.
Right.
So the Rams were 9-2. The Rams looked like they might be building towards being the consensus favorite to win the Super Bowl, but they've lost 3 of the last 5 games. Now, they did sit some guys out last night, and some of those guys, maybe it was a choice, and maybe some of those guys had to be out, but can be back for the playoffs. A couple of tackles, a guard, tight end, corner, safety. There's guys all over the roster. You like the Rams anymore, anybody else, or just stick around for January and see how it plays out? It looks wide open.
It does look wide open for me. I don't like the Rams any more or any less based on what I saw last night. So I'm not really worried about that. I like them. They've got a prolific offense, and they can do a lot of different things on you to cause you some issues. I have no idea if they're going to be in the Super Bowl, which is one of the reasons why I'm going to be watching for sure. There's some pretty good teams. Are there great teams? I'm not sure, but it doesn't need to be. All you need to be is the last team standing. That's what really matters. I mean, the New York Giants, when Eli Manning was winning Super Bowls with them, I don't think they were ever, oh, wow, they were the dominant team, the team to beat, at least even in the NFC, let alone the entire league.
Right.
But who cares?
Yeah, they played wildly entertaining games. They were able to win some squeakers, and they won it, and it was entertaining. Right. And the Rams will... they're sitting in the 6th spot right now, so they'll probably open the playoffs at Philly or at Chicago, and that looks like a pretty good matchup right out of the gate.
Yeah, we'll see.
Rams coach Sean McCae said he will not rest his starters this coming weekend, while Chargers coach Jim Harbaugh said he plans to rest his starters against Denver. Chargers can't win the division. Denver's going to win the AFC West. Chargers will be a playoff, and Harbaugh would rather be healthy than worry about whether they're seeded 5, 6, or 7. All those things seem to be in play right now. So,
well, I think that's the situation. If he was going for something else that they could get, he would probably say, yeah, we're on. But since you can't, then this is the spin you take.
He can't get a home game, and so the road opponent just throw him in a hat.
Well, I don't even think he can get a home game if he gets a home game.
That's probably true, actually. Yeah. Yeah, if the Chargers were home against several of these teams, their fans would pack the place, and the Chargers would be listening to roars every time the other team did something.
Yeah, I think of all the places in the country, really, you can argue that LA is the biggest melting pot that we have.
DJ and PK.
Hashtag college football.
BYU backup quarterback McCae Hillstead will reportedly enter his name into the NCAA transfer portal. If he wants to play PK, that would seem to be a logical thing to do. Wasn't a lot of playing time to be had.
No, maybe he should look at going back to Utah State.
That job will be open. What will they do in the transfer portal?
Right. Yeah.
Northwestern is hiring Chip Kelly as the Wildcats' new offensive coordinator. Everybody's got a different career arc. I'm not sure I saw him bouncing around as an offensive coordinator at the college level, 1 or 2 years here or there, but it seems like he's constantly on the move now.
Well, I think if you know Chip Kelly, he's made a lot of money, obviously, and I just don't think he likes the duties that go along with being a head coach.
Yeah.
He'd rather not have them. And for him, so these guys, it's like music. You look at country stars, and they frequently interact with what we would consider maybe more rock stars, and they appear on each other's albums and they like each other's music. I think for these coaches, for him, I don't know, there's a big difference between college and pro and what he has to do. The idea, and you can maybe even throw in high school for that matter, the idea is for them to coach ball. It's what they want to do. It's what they love doing. And he has this opportunity to do it. And to him, I don't know that it matters. And maybe he didn't have a bunch of offers and he doesn't want to wait around to see what's going to go down in the NFL. He got something here, new coach with Fitzgerald. That situation is, they're past that and all, and see what they can do there. So, yeah, why not?
Notre Dame coach Marcus Freeman says he's going to stay at Notre Dame. He got a revamped deal. There was interest from multiple NFL teams. The Giants were the name that was really put out there, but he is coming back with a revamped deal. So leverage that NFL interest.
All right.
USC coach Lincoln Riley lays the blame for the interruption of the Trojans' rivalry with Notre Dame at the feet of the Fighting Irish, saying Notre Dame had said they would play USC anytime, anywhere, and Notre Dame reneged on the proposal from the Trojans for the next 2 years and set up a deal with BYU instead. They're going to point fingers. Will they ever play again?
The world will go on if they don't. And by now, we are so, what would be the way to say it, so used to these rivals going away. What's one more? It doesn't faze us that much. I don't think, at least for me. I thought, okay, you're not going to play. Well, there'll be another game that day. But it was a much bigger deal when I lived there, for sure.
Yep.
Than not living there. But it seems silly, but there's a million things that seem silly, and add it to the list. And what is 1 million won if I've already got a million?
DJ and PK.
Hashtag Utah Jazz.
The best teams in the league can make adjustments really fast. We've had situations in the past where we've needed to kind of regroup in between games because it's harder to see it in the game and make the adjustment. But I think the team has shown the last 2 nights that they are growing in that area. To win the second, third, and fourth quarters in this game tonight, I think it's a great sign.
Utah Jazz, there's Will Hardy, the head coach. The Jazz have won back-to-back games over the Pistons and Spurs. They've split their last 12, 6-6. And they've got the Boston Celtics at the Delta Center tonight. Can the Jazz keep it rolling? Do you want the Jazz to keep it rolling? I suppose is another question. But can they keep it rolling? And the Celtics, third in the East, obviously shorthanded without their star player, but nonetheless, third in the East. In the tightly bunched Eastern Conference, they're playing pretty well right now.
You speaking of Boston's playing well or Jazz are playing well?
Both are.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't pay a whole lot of attention to the East there. But the way I look at the Jazz, there's really not a team that I look at them and say, wow, they shouldn't have any shot to win this particular ball game. They've been blown out in a few, but here, coming home in front of the home crowd, should be energized with 2 nice wins. When you're at the games, the crowd seems to want them to win. The broadcasters want them to win, and obviously Will Hardy is coaching to win.
Yeah.
And so from that perspective, I think that they have an opportunity to win. And yeah, I mean, they've got enough to win individual games. And that's all they're playing. And each game is literally that's it. It's one individual game. And I don't look at any team in the league that looks like, oh my gosh, they just are so much better than this team. There's many teams that are better, but so much more dominant. Particularly in the fickle nature of shooting. And if the Jazz can be hot and make shots, then they probably have a shot. I mean, that's something that they're going to have to do because right now with Kessler out, they don't really have an anchor defensively.
Listen to the game tonight, 6 o'clock with the pregame tip-off at 7. DJ and PK.
Hashtag NBA.
Denver Nuggets star Nikola Jokic suffered a left knee injury, limped off just before halftime. He was down on the floor, obvious pain. He hyperextended the left knee. He's going to have further testing and imaging today to determine the extent of the injury, and I'm sure they'll be checking the ACL whenever you see a hyperextension like that. You wonder how that's doing, so we'll get an update on him. It didn't look good, PK. The Nuggets were concerned. Obviously, they should be. They lose to the Heat, 147-123. They've dropped 4 of their last 6 games. And now...
Yeah, it didn't look good, but it didn't look like it was a Joe Ingles situation when you knew immediately, at least not to me, and I'm not a doctor, so maybe I don't know what the heck I'm talking about. I can recall Joe in that situation. Was it against Minnesota? I don't remember who it was against. But you knew, oh no, that's really, really bad. Here, the man was clearly in pain. Is it going to be long-term? Because if it's short-term, what does it really matter? If it's long-term, well, then it's an issue.
And obviously the Nuggets, one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the league, and he's a multiple-time MVP. So lose the game, and now we'll see about their star player. DJ and PK.
Hashtag college basketball.
The University of Utah loses to the Washington Huskies 74-65 in Seattle. Had a lead at halftime, but Washington grinding them down in the second half, and Washington gets a comfortable win there. Now it's on to Big 12 conference play. And other leagues are tipping off as well. Utah Tech rolled SUU 80-66 in a WAC game. UVU won, and tonight Utah State's at Fresno State for a Mountain West Conference game. Scotty G will have the call starting at 6:30 with the pregame, 7 o'clock tip. That'll be on 1280 The Zone, while the Jazz are on 97.5 The Zone. Kansas coach Bill Self said star freshman guard Darren Peterson will not return to action until he's as close to 100% as possible. His family wants him fully healthy despite playing just 4 games. He's projected as one of the top 3 picks in the NBA draft. We don't have a real good read on him, PK, but I guess it'll be a while before we get to see him.
Sure, but I don't think that matters to the NBA people. This is something that they just have to go through because there's some rule that says you have to be a year out. I mean, Kyrie Irving, if I remember, played 11 games in college because he was injured. And did he go number 1? I think he did.
He did.
So I don't really this kid has been scouted a million times over from the college perspective. And certainly, it's the NIL. Whoever paid him, you're going to get nothing for it if he doesn't come back. And the family's not going to have him wasted and have an opportunity to get injured again because this doesn't really matter. I mean, it's fun and all that, and you play to win and blah, blah, blah. But the fact is, once we get to April, who cares? It's about where he goes in the draft and how much money he makes there and what he can do at the NBA level. He's already been tabbed as a big-time draft pick. Whether he becomes a big-time player remains to be seen in the NBA. You never really know for sure, although I do think basketball – at least in the college ranks, I think basketball, the star system tends to be the most accurate. Football can be all over the place. 2 stars ends up being big-time stars, and 4 and 5 stars end up being nothing. I don't think that, and then that can happen in basketball too, but I think that it's more accurate. Now, how does that translate into the pro game? Because you don't really come into the pro game with stars in the manner that you do the college. You come in with a draft position, and we've seen draft picks, literally number 1, number 2, number 3, be Hall of Famers, and we've seen them be big-time nothing players.
Yeah.
So, but at the college, from high school to college, usually it's a little more accurate. From college to the pros, who knows? But I don't think even if he played any more, that would negatively impact someone's going to take him pretty doggone high. They've already decided that.
DJ, PK.
#golf.
Tiger Woods celebrating a birthday today, the big 5-0. He's now eligible to play on the Champions Tour. He is also recovering from another round of back surgery, and there's no timeline for a return to competitive golf. He's got the Golf League thing going on, and we can watch him there, laughing and yucking it up. Will we ever see him on the Champions Tour? Time will tell, I suppose.
I don't know what he's looking for, what he wants. To me, if he never played a competitive golf tournament again, so what?
It was an awesome run.
Yeah, it was phenomenal, right? And he can go be an ambassador for the game. And even if he wanted to try, I'd tell you, if he was on whatever tournament at the senior level, the place would be packed. and they would follow him. 95% of the gallery would be all over him if he should show up. And if he wants to do that, so be it, man. I mean, Father Time, we all know that. Plus the amount of surgeries and injuries. I mean, the list seems like it's a mile long. And he darn near died in a car crash over in the Palos Verdes Peninsula a few years ago. So to be able to walk around, you can consider that a new lease and a miracle and all that stuff. So whatever happens competitively, it really doesn't faze me, because the history mark that he has made on the game it's cemented, and it'll always be cemented. It'll always be one of the greatest.
There's nothing he's going to do on the Champions Tour to really change that. He is who he is.
But I mean, if he wants
Tiger.
to do it for fun, go ahead and do it.
If it's fun. If his body allows it, and we'll see.
Right.
Even he may not be able to answer that question right now. Will his body ever allow it? DJ and PK.
#NHL.
There goes Barrett Hayden burning down the far wing. He takes Adam Wilsby up against the wall. Puck in front. Gunther dangles and scores! Dylan Gunther puts Utah back in front. Well, there's a puck in front, and they score. It's Stamkos again. O'Reilly fed him out in front, and Nashville's in front for the first time here tonight. It's Stamkos' second goal in this period.
The Utah Mammoth did so many things right. They scored first. They were up 2-1 in the second. It was 2-2 going to the third. You heard Dylan Gunther put him in front 3-2 midway through the third period. It looked like things were going pretty good. And then Steven Stamkos scores on the power play. And then the goal you hear right there, 2 goals in less than 2 minutes. Nashville wins 4-3. We talked about it yesterday, PK. A team right behind them in the playoff race. They were 3 points back. Now they're only 1 back. Utah at home, coming off a 5-day layoff, and they couldn't hold on in the final 10 minutes. Pretty frustrating. It was right there.
And that's what Bear was talking about, the frustrating nature of it, and the players also, obviously, in the postgame. You look at that game, and, man, it's right there for the taking. But they just can't quite get over the hump, and they haven't been able to get quite over the hump consistently. And at this point now, as we're approaching midseason, I'm wondering, is this just who they are? The reality of the situation. And maybe they get cools back, as they say, as they call them, that could make a difference. But who's to say at that point somebody else doesn't go down? You never know how these things are going to play out. It's a physical game. It's a taxing game and all that stuff. And so injuries can take their toll. But they're there, but they're not quite there, if that makes sense.
Mike Folta, radio play-by-play voice of Utah Mammoth, will join us at 8 o'clock. The Mammoth will get on a plane tomorrow, and they will fly to the Big Apple, your former stomping grounds. They call it a 3-game road trip. They're just going to set up shop there, I suppose, and going to play the Islanders, play the Devils, and play the Rangers, and play every other day, January 1st, 3rd, and 5th, and then fly home. It's a 3-game roadie to New York.
Well, you can stay in one place, as you say, so it's not that bad.
Nope. In the tri-state area. Can unpack. We'll talk with Mike coming up at 8 o'clock. Isaiah Holt, publisher of Wolverine Wire and host of Locked On Wolverines at 8:30. The reception Kyle Whittingham is getting. Looks like he's already decided one of the coaches will be retaining on the staff. We'll get to that. Sean Callahan, publisher of Husker Online. We'll talk about the bowl game. There's a bowl game, PK. Talk to him at 9 o'clock. It's also a Utah Jazz ticket Tuesday, and we'll give away tickets at 8:30 and 9:30 this morning to see the Jazz and the Mavericks. You can see Cooper Flagg January 8th at the Delta Center. We'll do that coming up at 8:30. That's what's trending. It's brought to you by Shamrock Plumbing. There's no job too big or too small. Get the personal touch with Shamrock Plumbing. When we come back, the question of the day, hot takes or toast, is next.